the larger trend is the possibility of everything getting digitized and everyone having access to a very powerful computer in their pocket, right? So that is what is really changing, and it's sort of changing rapidly. So it's not like one trend there, but you'll have to see it from a larger macro trend of everything getting digitized, everybody getting access to that, that digitized environment.
So, hello all. It is our distinct honor to introduce Mr. Unny Radhakrishnan. He is a prominent and versatile leader in the realm of marketing, business, and technology. Mr. Radhakrishnan is currently at the helm as the Chief Executive Officer of Digitas India, a global marketing, communications, and technology services brand operating under the esteemed Publicis Group. His extensive career journey is marked by significant contributions to the industry. Today, we have the unique opportunity to delve into the wealth of knowledge and experiences that Mr. Unny Radhakrishnan bring to the table as we sit down for an insightful interview with this accomplished leader. So, a warm welcome, sir. It is a
Thank
pleasure
you.
to have you. It is a pleasure to have you. So, without much ado, let's get started.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yes. So, we have an obvious question for you, as you have been a frequent guest lecturer and you have shared and interacted with a lot of professionals and students. Can you highlight a particular topic or lesson that you feel is most important that everybody should know?
Yeah, interesting that you're starting with this question. So most often I get invited to speak on topics related to marketing, digital and business marketing, etc. Right? Because of the industry. But wherever I have a choice of selecting the speaking topic, I broadly speak on a theme which I title as professional is personal. Right? The basic premise is that we often tend to compartmentalize professional and personal. While it is important that you don't mix up the issues, one thing we need to keep in mind is that the person, the individual or the you is the same, whether you're in office or at home, right? The behavior that is sort of reflected in a personal environment is the same core you. So it's important to be very reflective and be self-aware, right? In other words, professional growth and personal growth need to go hand in hand. So if you ask me, that's my favorite, topic or theme, whenever I get a chance to speak, because I say that, so look, there are enough people to talk about marketing and advertising, and you can get enough people from there, but not many people speak on these issues.
Okay, great, sir. Great.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the next question. In your opinion, what personal qualities do you feel that a successful CEO should have in today's dynamic business environment?
Yeah, successful is a very relative term. So let me be very humble. I know that I am playing the role of CEO. Let success or not, let somebody else decide. But besides that, what are the challenges or what are the qualities? See, the world is changing very, very rapidly. Right, business environment is very, very dynamic. No one has all the answers. So as a leader, you're essentially bringing together a diverse set of people, right, with different skill sets, and not only skill set, temperament, worldviews, to work together for a common objective, right? The way I see is that as people, we all are a combination of hopes, aspirations, fears, ambitions, etc. So therefore, it's important to see and recognize that. Therefore, our ability to listen without any judgment and suspending our agenda is a key quality. It's a sort of work in progress for all of us. For me also, it's a kind of work in progress. I try to cultivate that and try to get better and better at it. The other thing is to know your people, their strengths, and what give them energy. Right? In a way, one has to sort of continuously align individual ambitions and organization priorities as much as possible. So, as the leader, the focus has to be on people and the product. When I say product, what I mean is, your offering. It could be a service or a product. It has to be the best and that serves the customer need well. Right? One can be in a laundry service business, or a high-end defense security product, right? Whatever it is, there has to be that focus on the product. Once the focus is on people and the product, then rest all are outcomes. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, great, great. So, and in your view, what are the most significant recent trends in digital marketing and technology landscape? And how do these impact business today?
See, when we say digital, it's no more restricted to marketing, right? The overall enterprise is getting digitized, and that's changing how consumers are interacting with a brand or a product or a service. So, one way to look at all this is, with a larger, under a larger term of customer experience, right? Look at how payments have changed after UPA, right? Aadhaar authentication, right? Whether it is opening an account or a mobile connection. How so a service like Urban Company has changed the experience of how we access unorganized sectors like plumbers and painters. Right? I recently had to paint just one room in my house. This was about 2 weeks back, and it was such a smooth process, right? You put a request on Urban Company, somebody comes, he takes all the measurements of the room in a digital device. He puts that up, on that application. You get a quote automatically. You approve it. So the whole process is so smooth, and it's getting completely digitized, right? Who would have expected, calling a painter or a plumber and this whole process going through digitized, right? So, while new technologies, whether it is AI or blockchain, I'm not really getting into that. The larger trend is the possibility of everything getting digitized and everyone having access to a very powerful computer in their pocket, right? So that is what is really changing, and it's sort of changing rapidly. So it's not like one trend there, but you'll have to see it from a larger macro trend of everything getting digitized, everybody getting access to that, digitized environment.
Very true, very true. And also, we have gone cashless, like totally cashless.
Yeah,
This we like rare people have cash in their pocket. So yeah, it has been
correct.
impacting. Okay.
Yeah.
So with the rapid advancements in AI and data analytics, how do you see this technologies transforming the marketing landscape?
Yeah, see, some form of AI was already impacting in the last few years, like how Google, Amazon, etc., used it in campaign optimization or audience analytics, predictive elements, etc. Right? But the new buzz is about generative AI, and many of the software platforms are going to use AI in their products, like Adobe Firefly in creating images, or Salesforce in their campaign management, etc. Microsoft will have many of their products enhanced by AI. A lot of them are already AI enhanced, and they will continue to do that. So the impact will be on how we do our work and the work we create. Right? In my mind, it's still a developing story. Probably we are yet to fully understand what the impact will be. Right? Like recently, I read something. When steam engine was discovered, or rather developed first, it was first used to push coal from the coal mines. And the actual locomotive engine came much after, which was built on the principle of steam engine, right? But the people who developed steam engine had no clue as to what this is going to sort of expand, and what the impact is going to be, right? So similarly on AI, I think we are yet to fully understand, how this is going to take shape and what the impact would be.
Absolutely, absolutely. And could you share some highlights of Digitas India's recent projects or initiatives that exemplify the connected marketing agency proposition?
Yeah. So when we say connected marketing, there are two sides to the coin. Both are simple, very simple explanations. On the one side, our main role is connecting brands and consumers in the most interesting way. right? The other side of the coin is that we connect or weave together different disciplines of digital to bring about solutions for the client. Because if you look at digital itself is so much fragmented. There are multiple lines of disciplines, whether it is media, technology-led creatives, or data, or experiences, right? So one way of explaining connected is that we sort of weave together all these different disciplines for client solutions, right? I may not be able to specifically mention a client name because of our confidentiality, obligations. Because typically, unlike speaking about the campaigns, sometimes it is difficult for us to quote client work because the work we do with many of the clients are with different stakeholders of the clients, which impact the business. Like so, with many clients, our engagement spans across disciplines. Like we are working together with the CMO, the sales organization, the CTO, and CAO, etc. Right. However, just to give you a flavor of the work without exactly disclosing the client name, we recently did some work for an auto brand and an FMCG brand where a campaign idea that really leveraged AI technologies, right? Some of the work we have done for a large consumer electronics company is a bespoke e-commerce solution that basically digitized their three-tier supplier distributor system. For supplier and distributor system, like there's a national distributor, there is a level one, second level, third level, and there's a final retailer, right? We sort of digitize the whole process where, the company at the lower level can place an order on level two, on level one, and things like that. Right? It's a very bespoke commerce solution which we did. Some of the creative work which I can disclose client names are, for example, the kind of work which we do, the creative work we do for Duolingo, the language learning app. Duolingo is a sort of brand which is really getting built purely on the kind of social media content we create. Very rarely brands will get built only on social media, right? So the kind of work we do for Duolingo is hugely appreciated by the industry. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. So, moving to our next question. So, Digitas has been recognized as a Gartner Magic Quadrant Global Marketing Agency leader for 5 consecutive years. So, what do you think? What factors do you attribute to this sustained success?
Yeah. See, our understanding is that Gartner evaluates based on multiple factors. But broadly, it's the ability to adapt to the changes in the market, right? And build capability and capacity accordingly, right? For the local market perspective, we have been in this market for a little more than a decade and a half. Over the years, we have built capability and expertise on all aspects of our connected marketing proposition, right? And build some really long-term client relationships. I suppose all that sort of adds up.
Okay, sir. And with the data privacy becoming increasingly important, how does Digitas India balance personalization in marketing with respecting user privacy?
So personalization happens at multiple levels. Most common and a simple way to look at is, the first one is personalization that happens on the brand, destinations, like whether you are in a brand website or on Amazon, any of those kind of sites, right? These are always very consent based, and there are enough tools to do that, right? For instance, some of the sites when you go, it pops up and ask for tracking cookies, whether we accept or not, right? So there are enough tools for that. And the second is the personalization that happens at media campaigns. These often leverage the features of your partners like a Meta or a Google and other data providers who has their own consent mechanism. So whatever we do, it sort of is in line with this consent mechanism. All right. But my personal view, however, is that there is too much smoke and less of fire on this topic of personalization in this industry.
Okay, sir. And looking into the future, what excites you the most about the direction in which Digitas India and the industry as a whole are heading?
Yeah, talking about Digitas, see, sometime back we did a very sort of a small survey, right? Speaking to about 10 to 12 CMOs and asking them whether they would want to work with one digital agency for all their digital needs, like communication, media, experiences, technology, CRM, etc., or separate specialist agencies. Interestingly, over 75% of them said that they would prefer one, but there is no such agency, right? So that's clearly a gap we are filling, and that really excites us. Right, and for the industry overall, I think the interesting thing is that brands are now seeing customer experience as an overall agenda, and that is something very integral to their business. So for organization like us, it's a great opportunity to be part of that.
Wow, wonderful. And can you share a piece of advice or a book podcast that has had a profound impact on your career or personality development?
This is a very difficult question because there are so many podcasts and so many books and podcasts or people that had an impact on me, because we tend to take a little from here, a little from there, and it sort of influence you at many levels, right? So it's very difficult to mention one. However, since your question is to ask me to mention one, I would like to mention one book which I read more than 20 years back and had sort of impact, and I know that it has impacted a lot of people. This is a book named Maverick by Ricardo Semler. Right. I think this was first published in the 90s and continued to get republished like every year. I read it. I read this sometime in the late 90s or early 2000. I don't remember exactly. It's a radically different way of looking at business and people, and that has significantly influenced me. I would highly recommend that.
Sure, I'll just give it a try for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So, thank you, Mr. Uni, for taking out the time and sharing your insights. It was so much pleasure talking to you, and we hope we'll connect soon in the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.